You firstly began with a manufacturing unit. Where did that idea come from in your mind?
When you observe around you, you get to know, is there a genuine demand and supply gap?
And I also know you are also building a venture in financials. Right. What exact problem are you trying to solve there?
In the process of creating a financial services company, which would be operational across the country, primarily into broking.
What's that one myth about investing Indians should stop believing today?
Now, if the company revenue is growing at 10, 12, 15% a year, how on earth will the stock price grow by 50% a year?
If you would like to completely describe the India's entrepreneurial spirit in just one line.
What is a startup? I think entrepreneurship and startup is something which is in the DNA of Indians.
How did you manage to stay debt free?
Whatever little debt you've got, you try and cut it down. And then that growth of yours is sustained and you own it. It cannot be taken back from you. So it's not about crazy valuations and just your revenue.
Right. And you also very commonly mention a quote being, all roads lead to India.
Right.
What makes you so strong and bullish about it?
As the middle class population of India grows, this population is almost equal to the size of the US, the entire population.
You have entered industries in manufacturing and other segments, but your still mindset and approach is very digital and modern.
I'm not a great fan of AI. You cannot solely depend on technology to give you profits.
What would you like to say to that startup hustler / founder / enthusiast who is going to enter the uncertain world of Indian ecosystem? Welcome to Startup Manch. You already know Startup Manch is growing at a great level, and not just me, there are many more going to be faces ahead in the coming times. About myself, I am an ex-founder. I started a company named Startup Ventures, which later got acquired by Marwadi Catalyst. Right now, I'm a senior portfolio manager in the VC firm, and today I'm here with you to host Pratik Bhansali. I don't think he requires an introduction. He has mentored thousands of students up till now, started industries, segmented into factories, manufacturing, industrial, and also now into financial services. So would you like to share anything?
Thank you so much, Vaishvi. Super excited to be here. And my favorite quote is, humility is beautiful, ego is ugly. So yeah, as God gives you more, you need to be more humble and inspire more people and bring more smiles. So looking forward to the podcast.
Just to share with the audience, would you like to share anything about your current establishments of how many students you have been mentoring and everything else in your business segment?
Okay, at the work front, we run two companies as we speak. One is into polymer and packaging. It's a manufacturing unit based out of Bangalore. This was started in 2010 and we've got about 1,200, 1,300 clients across the country. And the second is a construction vertical where we develop industrial parks and build mega factories. So for everyone who's from Bengaluru, you must have heard of Kanti Sweets. We've done lots of mega factories for them and we continue to build more mega factories for them. So it's like from the scratch till all the facilities including ETPs, STPs, firefighting, ducting, basically everything a mega factory needs. So yeah, these are the two things we do. And on the mentoring, I've got a soft corner for students. And it's always nice because they are at a stage of life where they've got so much of energy. They need direction. And lots of times there are things which they cannot speak to about to their parents or their colleagues or friends because honestly, they would not understand what passion's driving them. So yeah, I try to do my best to listen to them. They've got some beautiful ideas. And then a little bit of my experience of the real marketplace. I tell them that you need to work hard and be sincere, things about cash flows and how not to grow too fast and how not to love your product or service because the customer or the marketplace has to love your product or service. Sometimes we see a few founders who are so deeply in love with their product that they don't have an open feedback loop. So at the end of the day, it's about fixing the demand and supply gap and making sure that you take feedback from the consumers so that your product improves and does better in the marketplace. So yeah, mentoring is all about that. And all the mentorings without any remuneration. Everything's not for money. It gives me happiness when I see them smile. That's how.
That's really beautiful because only the individual who knows the value of getting mentored by someone knows that how much it is really required for students as well on the other end. And I do know that along with mentoring, along with establishing businesses, along with investing into stocks and many more fields you are in, there might be one single beginning for it all. How did it all start? What was that one point which made you believe that, yes, maybe I can enter into business or maybe I can begin something?
I'll be very candid. After engineering and MBA, I was heading the placement cell. and I got placed in a good retail company. So I went to work. I took up the offer and I went to work at 9 in the morning. 5 p.m. the same day, I came back home by giving my resignation papers. So I resigned on the same day and I did not go back to office. That one day was enough for me to know that this is not where I fit in. And, I need to do something about my dreams because I have ultra large dreams. And only when I take control of my professional life will I be able to achieve them. So yeah, maybe that one day, which was the differentiator, and then things started off. Yeah.
That moment when you felt that yes, my dreams are different and I do not fit in this environment, something very different is waiting for me. What did you firstly begin with? And as I would like to share a bit with the audience, you firstly began with a manufacturing unit.
Correct.
Where did that idea come from in your mind?
I've got a very good observation skills. I look at things around. For instance, when you go to a restaurant, generally people would look at what kind of lighting and who's sitting there and what kind of cuisines are being served. I would always look at how many tables in the restaurant, how many seating capacity on each table, how much time does one group of people who are sitting there take, what's the average bill of each table. So at the end of the day, that's what an entrepreneur should look at. When you observe around you, you get to know that is there a genuine demand and supply gap. You either sell a product or a service, right? And your product or service has to fix that genuine demand and supply gap. And the gap has to be sustained. It cannot be artificial. And your entire model has to be a cost center and a profit center, where every unit that you sell has to be a profit center. It's not that you keep scaling up and then profit finally comes one fine day. We've got so many unicorns, and I think only about 5% of them are profitable. The less I speak about it, the better. So I'm looking at creating businesses which have per unit profit and are profitable from day one, at least on the operational front. So yeah, observing closely, I saw that lots of packing material during those days, 2008, 9, 10, used in Karnataka by the 5,000-6,000 industries here, actually being procured from states like Gujarat, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. There was not a single fully automated plant to make straps and BOPP tapes in Karnataka. So then I happened to go to Germany on a trade fair called K, which is the world's largest trade fair. It happens once in 3 years between Dusseldorf and Frankfurt. It just happened last week, this year's edition. So there the Germans quoted me about 7 crores for the machinery. I had not seen that kind of money in my life. After K, after 3 months of K, is the China Plast, which is the world's second largest plastic and rubber organization. It's an exhibition where thousands of companies from across the world put up their stalls and they display what new technology and machinery and raw material comes in. So the Chinese quoted about 2.5 crores. The Germans quoted 7.5 crores. The Chinese quoted 2.5 crore. At the Chinese stall, I met an Indian gentleman from Ahmedabad, a Gujarati, who had just started making these machineries in Ahmedabad. So we had a 3-hour discussion at the Chinese stall. The Chinese really had no clue because we were speaking in Hindi. And once we came back, I went to Ahmedabad for 3 days. And in 6 months, we got the entire line assembled for about 65-70 lakh rupees. So yeah, that was the first line. And I was the accountant, I was the delivery boy, and I was, anything that goes wrong, you're responsible. Because when you're starting up, you don't have a lot of money, you can't have various teams. In corporates, if the air conditioner is not working, you have a team which is going to come and fix it. But when you're an entrepreneur and you've just started up, even if the sky falls, you have to fix it. So we had a small team of about 8-9 people. I remember used to sleep in the factory floor for days together. And yeah, God has been kind, and we started growing, and people started liking our products. And then it's a continuous evolution. So that's the initial journey. In
the entire conversation, you mentioned about profitability. It's important to stay profitable, and also the current scenario with unicorns, what is going on.
Right.
So in your first venture, when you made the setup of 60-70 lakhs and then started, what were your profit margins at that time?
The raw material was about 70 rupees a kg, and the manufacturing conversion cost with packing material was about 20-22 rupees. So it comes to about 90, 91, 92 rupees. We would sell our metal at about 115 to 120 rupees a kg. So say about 25-30% was the margin. We focus more on cash flows. When I say cash flows, it means your client pays you the money on time. Generally in the manufacturing sector, the credit cycles are 45 days, 90 days, 120 days. Anybody who's into MSME will resonate with this. From day one, we had a policy that we are not going to supply material if the payment comes beyond 30 days. We were very particular about it. Doing this, we did lose out of lots of clients. Maybe we could have grown faster, but my conscience was clear that I have to rotate the capital at least 11 to 12 times a year. So if you've got a 1 crore capital, suppose you make material for 1 crore rupees, and if you're able to sell it and rotate that money in 30 days, you rotate that 1 crore 12 times a year, or say 11 times a year. At each rotation, you get a profit because you buy material, you sell material at a profit. So the idea was to have a lower cash flow cycle, a smaller duration of cash flow cycle, which kept us agile. It gave us freedom because we didn't have too much of debt. And yeah, that's how I think businesses should run.
You mentioned of not having any debt, and also your profit margins were also very amazing at that time.
Right.
But how did you manage to stay debt free? There might be many more things, and initial times everybody is figuring out. No matter how well we are educated in B schools, once we are on the ground, situations are quite different. How did that happen?
Trust me, nothing I learned in the B school has ever helped me being an entrepreneur. I'll be candid. Other than making few good friends and interactions with some good professors, some of whom I'm still in touch with. Nothing that's taught in the B school actually helps you do real business, unless you're working for a corporate and doing presentations and boardroom meetings. Our boardroom meetings were on the factory floor. We didn't have a boardroom to begin with, and we still have it, but I don't think we use it. Most of the meetings are candidly when we are walking on the factory floor or at the machine site or the dispatch area is where the meetings happen. So, what was your question?
I was just asking that how did you manage to stay debt free for this
right.
long?
You grow slow and steady.
Yeah.
You don't grow too fast. If you have to climb 10 floors of a building, there are two ways to do it. One is you climb the entire 10th floor at a stretch. That growth is not sustained.
Yes.
You climb the first 2 or 3 floors, pause for a few seconds, take a deep breath. Whatever little debt you've got, you try and cut it down. And then that growth of yours is sustained and you own it. It cannot be taken back from you. So it's not about crazy valuations and just your revenue. It's about how your payment cycles are, how much money you're getting back. And this ensures that you're profitable. You're profitable on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and it becomes a habit. So, and then it's like the culture of the company. So basically, growing slow and steady and not growing too fast would be the answer to your question.
That's pretty amazing because you sorted out in the very right manner. Today's startups, like I interact with startups every day. Only issue is they are just running behind valuation. My competitor is raising at 50, so why do I raise at 30? How is it going to happen? And they are not even looking at profitability. And maybe please listen to what he has shared because that will really help a lot in understanding startup metrics today's day. I can also understand one thing through your entire answer. You have entered industries in manufacturing and other segments, but your mindset and approach is very digital and modern. How do you manage both the things together? Because they're really different grounds.
Right. See, we use technology. It's not that we don't use technology, but technology is only a tool to help you improve. Could be your marketing, could be your accounting, could be your logistics, could be ERP systems in your production. You cannot solely depend on technology to give you profits. At the end of the day, if you're a manufacturing unit or a service unit, technology has to help you do things little faster, maybe reduce cost and enhance customer delight. So you have to selectively use technology and just not, now there's a lot of buzz about AI and everything. I'm not a great fan of AI. I mean, people can kill me for saying that. But a selective usage of AI as and how we need it, and ask yourself a question, does using this technology improve the efficiency and effectiveness of what you're doing? So yeah, we selectively use technology as and how it helps us doing things better. So that's my take on technology.
Maybe not imposing it on everything, just the way today's world is doing it, but only integrating it to places where it is actually required and can smooth out the entire procedure.
Absolutely. If it's needed and if it helps us reduce time, improve our efficiency and maybe reduce cost and give a better delight, then we would use it. Else we are okay not using it also. Yeah. Right.
Today's 22-year-olds are rushing behind AI. If they come to you with a startup dream over coffee, would there be anything in particular that you'd like to share as a truth? And guys, you just like to say that guys, stop this, otherwise you're going to be in trouble soon.
I'll be candid.
Yeah.
I meet lots of founders and I meet lots of startups and youngsters who wish to start off on their own. 9 out of 10 of them, and I'm saying this with a lot of humility. I mean, I'm no one to judge you, but 9 out of 10 of them do not know the meaning of business. They're doing it because they're passionate about it. And they're doing it because inside their head, they think that, yes, this is a brilliant idea and people are going to love it. And the first question I ask any budding founder, if I have to invest or they want me to mentor them, is how many years of your life are you willing to give to this venture? And if you're not willing to give a minimum 10 years, then I tell them it's better if you don't do it, because it takes first 2-3 years for you to settle down, for the entire ecosystem to settle down, your product and services to settle down, clients to get to know you. And it takes about 10 years for you to cross 1 or 2 waves of geoeconomics across the world. There are issues, there are countries going to war, there are tariffs, there may be issues domestically. So if you can devote 10 years of your life to the venture and still be profitable and you're not shut down, then I think you're going to probably stay for the rest of your life. You look at any big companies, you look at Reliance Industries, you look at the Tata Group, you look at Mahindra's, you look at any big company which is low on debt and doing good business, they're here for decades, quarter century, half a century, even more. So I would say good things take time, and it's a compounding effect. The first 10 years, from my own case, the amount of money I made in the first 10 years, suppose it's 100 rupees. The 11th year, in just 1 year, I made 3 times the money I made in the first 10 years. The 12th year was the 10 years and 11th year combined, and 4 times the money I made. So once you've established and, finished the grinding of the first 10 years is when the real wealth actually starts flowing. So good things take time, have patience. I would tell youngsters not to rush and make sure that you have the sincerity to pursue your dreams. Keep doing the boring stuff day after day, month after month, and stay open to feedback. Don't tell the world that I know everything and my product is the best. No, your product is not the best. If you're open to learn and if you keep the feedback loop open, that's how you're going to improve. That's my take on it.
You have very humbly explained how the entire financial status could go ahead for. And I also know you are also building a venture in financials.
Right.
And that is catering to everybody from a young professional to a retiree.
Right.
What exact problem are you trying to solve there?
Okay. We are creating or in the process of creating a financial services company, which would be operational across the country, primarily into broking. So we're going to be direct members of NSE, BSE, and just like any of the broking houses, you'll have an online and offline mode. You'll have our own app, which a person sitting anywhere in the world can download and do whatever you wish to do in the markets. We're going to have a vertical of audit where our clients can get their GST, direct and indirect taxes both. We can help them guide them through the process, and manage family offices, tie up with major banks of the country. Anybody wanting a loan of say 10 lakh rupees to 10,000 crores, instead of you running to banks, you put the data on the portal, and then multiple banks would go through it, and then say 3 or 4 of them would reach out to you. And a special vertical for women professionals, housewives. All this feminism and supporting women, I really think it's more of a show and glamour than what's really happening on the ground. Even today, women are dependent on the men of the house for their financial decisions. Things are changing, but I really wish it happens more faster. So a vertical where we can help women become financially independent, because only when you're financially independent will you be able to live your life truly and do things that you want to do. So yeah, basically anybody from a common person who earns 30,000 a month and can do small SIPs of say 500,000, 2,000 rupees a month, to family offices, NRI clients, people from outside who wish to invest in India. I strongly believe that the next 30, 40 years, our lifetime, India is going to move from $4.2 trillion to say about $30, $40 trillion. We are going to be the epicenter of global growth. And I tell everyone, we are blessed to be living in India in these times. And if you can, invest in right fundamentals, then sky's the limit.
Absolutely
Right.
true. And as you mentioned that the female should get independent, I have also heard the phrase very, with which I really resonate a lot. That
Right.
when a female becomes independent, the society becomes independent, and that's absolutely true. You also know a lot about investing, and I am. If you would like to share with the audience the kind of portfolio you have
Right.
for stock market investment,
Right.
what's that one myth about investing that you feel Indians should stop believing today?
I tell everybody I meet, stop gambling. There is no quick money. If people tell you your money can grow at 30, 40, 50% a year or can double and things like that, I would just stop listening to them. Look, when you zoom out, what is the stock market? It's got about 8, 9,000 companies listed on it. NSE and BSE, we've got two major exchanges in India. These are companies which do actual business on ground. They have a product, they have a service, they have a setup. Now, if the company revenue is growing at 10, 12, 15% a year, how on earth will the stock price grow by 50% a year?
True.
Stock prices are a reflection of what the company balance sheets do on a day-to-day basis. So there's a beautiful quote of Peter Lynch. There are two books that I read for investment. One is One Up on Wall Street, and second is Beating the Street. And these are both books written by Peter Lynch. I read them every 6 months. So it's been 7 years. I've read them about 13, 14 times. The same book again and again. Because as far as I'm concerned, Peter Lynch is probably the greatest investor and fund manager living on earth today. And second, I tell them is start reading balance sheets. Don't follow people for tips and advices just because your friend is investing or you've heard someone investing. Don't do it. And honestly, direct equities is not for everyone. If you do not have the habit and patience of reading balance sheets, then probably start doing SIPs and some mutual funds where you have where you have capable fund managers who do it for you at a small fees. Keep the habit regular, and don't panic when the markets go up or go down. Always zoom out and look at the look at the bigger picture. Good things take time. So my idea for investing basically revolves around that if I have an IQ of 170 or 180, you don't need an IQ of more than 80 to be a good investor. What you need is a lot of common sense and a lot of patience and a strong emotional quotient. When the prices are when the market's tanking, you don't panic and sell out. So what I do personally is I read balance sheets every quarter. I don't even look at the prices. If the balance sheet is going to give me a red flag, then I would think of exiting that particular stock. If it's not giving me a red flag and the revenues are right and the debts are low and the operations are expanding, irrespective of the stock prices, I would not sell. So to sum it up in one line, as Peter Lynch says, in the short run, the stock prices and the balance sheet of a company has got little or no correlation. The prices can be insanely high or insanely low. But in the long run, the stock price and the balance sheet have got 100% correlation. So if you know your numbers in the balance sheet and you stick to your stocks, matter of few years before you see the wealth coming. So it's been
Absolutely.
6 years and I've not sold a single stock.
This conviction shows a lot about how much you are bullish about India and the coming future.
Right.
And you also very commonly mention a quote being, all roads lead to India.
Right.
So, what makes you so strong and bullish about it?
I mean, the 1970s, 80s, we saw a strong economic growth cycle in the US and the West, which was followed by a similar trend in Japan and China. So every country, I would say it's destined. Every country, based on the demographics, based on the average median age of the working class population, based on the per capita income and how much of growth can happen. Now, for instance, US and the West is at a per capita income of, say, $100,000. Now, for them to grow to 10x, they're already sitting at $100,000 per annum. We are at roughly about $3,200 per annum. So we've got a lot of catching up to do. We've got a lot of growth story ahead of us, which is going to happen. We need infrastructure. We need railway lines. We need roads. We need power grids. We need drinking water. We need sewerage lines. And as the middle class population of India grows, it's about 35, 40 crore people that are getting into lower middle and upper middle class. Now, it creates a beautiful domestic market. This population is almost equal to the size of the US, the entire population.
Yeah.
So when you grow, When you get a hike in salary, you want to buy better things for your family. You want to maybe upgrade to a better car. Maybe you want to buy a new house. You want your kids to go to good school. You want to buy good shoes. You want to go dine at a better restaurant. So at the end of the day, all this comes into the system as expenditure. So I see tremendous growth potential for India. I would say the next 100 years belongs to India. The entire world on one side, India on one side, I would bet on India.
That's really a proud feeling for me as well, being a very true soul Indian from my own heart.
Absolutely.
And as you mentioned about so many requirements in India, such a bullish market, is there any one particular theme or sector that you feel is going to go crazy in the coming times and going to define the complete future?
Okay. I would personally, based on my investment experiences and how I read data, I would say the banking sector is going to be very strong. Because if you were to put up a hospital or you were to put up an industry or you were to build roads, no matter what development work you do, at the end of the day, it's going to be the bank that's going to fund you. And if you're going to do well, you would pay back the banks on time and the banks would grow. And with a lot of digitalization of the entire system, a lot of transparency coming in, the RBI and the Finance Ministry is doing some fantastic work. Just last week, Honorable FM announced about digital rupee, which she think is going to change the way transactions happen. And UPI is already people across the world are looking at the Indian UPI model. So whenever you have these foreign delegates of ministers and prime ministers from various countries coming, you see them in the newspaper clips that, they bought something and paid through the UPI. So I see a very promising future for the Indian banking industry. And in the last few quarters, we've seen some foreign companies, some of them from Japan and now from the Middle East, picking up stakes in Indian private banks. So without taking names, because I would, they are all part of my portfolio, so I would not take names. So I'm looking at a lot of curiosity and investments from foreign players in the Indian banking industry. So yeah, a good percentage of my portfolio is into banks and financial services.
Very small thing added to that. You mentioned about banking sector going to boom. If you were to choose one sector theme that your heart belongs to and one that your mind says is the right one, which one would you choose?
As far as investments are concerned, I have zero emotions, because if you're going to have an emotional reaction to your investments, chances are you're going to falter. So I don't let my heart interfere when I'm reading balance sheets. It's only fundamentals, merit, and numbers. So I would always go by the brain, and numbers don't lie. So my investment journey is all about number crunching and staying invested for as long as I can. So yeah, I have no emotions while investment.
And one field that you think, if you were given the opportunity that you are 100% going to succeed in life in that one sector, which sector would be that you would like to begin as your own venture?
The financial services company that we are doing now, both the companies that we run are zero debt. And over the last 1 year, we've slowly let the second line of leaders take up most of the things that I would do, so that I can have, because we all have 14, 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
So it's not practically possible for you to do everything. So I'm slowly, letting the second line of team take control of activities in these two companies. And most of my time off late is spent into building the new venture.
Okay.
So I would be very bullish about the financial services company, but slow and steady. It's going to be zero debt, nothing fancy. And we are going to focus on a lot of common sense than any crazy promises. So we are going to stay rooted and look at fundamentals.
That's pretty amazing. Right. Just if you would like to completely describe the India's entrepreneurial spirit in just one line, anything that you'd like to say?
We've been entrepreneurs since history. I mean, what is a startup? A startup is nothing but a person who wishes to do something, create a venture, maybe sell a product or sell a service. So we've been doing it for ages. So I think entrepreneurship and startup is something which is in the DNA of Indians. And it's only a matter of time before more and more people can find some genuine demand and supply gaps and pick up and become an entrepreneur. It does give you a lot of freedom to do things that you wish to. like having a podcast on a Wednesday afternoon at 2 o'clock. I don't think if you were working for the corporate, you would be able to do it. So, yeah.
That's very much true. And there is a very famous slogan given by the government, Atmanirbhar Bharat.
G.
So I think you have been an entrepreneur. I have been one. Bhavik
Right.
is doing one.
Right.
So we are all in the same segment for that.
Right.
And do you see any contradiction to that happening in coming times, or do you see it is going to be the most bullish thing for India in the coming years?
I'll be very candid again. I don't have political affiliations. Okay, so let me just. I don't take sides, but I very strongly believe that the Honorable Prime Minister with his team is doing some fantastic innovation. 7 years ago, I've seen the state VAT, the central excise, service tax. If we were to sell something intrastate, suppose I have to sell something from Bangalore to Chennai, I would have to sell it at 2% CST. That's the central interstate tax, and then wait for a C form, manually go to the VAT office to collect the C form. With the GST, we've got a one nation, one tax, and the process is pretty seamless. I'm not saying we're perfect. There's always room for improvement. But I think India is in safe hands, and the current leadership is very sincere about how India is going to move forward. And if I can go to the extent of saying that the next 100, 200 years of the Indian story, the foundation is actually being laid in the present time as we speak. We are getting systems in place. We are getting technology in place. We are, just small things. When you go to the West or you go to any country, you use a cell phone. The data, the tariffs are almost 10x of what you pay in India. In India, I don't think anybody pays more than 400-500 rupees a month for a cell phone bill. And this used to be 4,000-5,000 rupees if you go to another state, or you make you call somebody in another state, or you call somebody in another country, you would have different call rates, call charges, data rates. So I think step by step, we are moving in the right direction. The only thing that is killing us, again being candid, is the corruption at bureaucracy level. If everybody can follow meritocracy, honesty, pragmatism, and common sense, and just make sure that we earn what we deserve. No kickbacks, not doing things to take shortcuts. Because then, as an entrepreneur, when you've got so much of passion and so much of dreams, and then in the middle of it, when you see that you have to make a factory, there are so many agencies who ask for kickbacks. And in spite of doing everything right, your file just doesn't move. So I'm seeing the changes are happening, but it would be better if it can happen at a little faster rate. And if we can have a zero corrupt bureaucrat system, including all of us, because we are a part of the system. So I would urge citizens not to pay bribes, not to take shortcuts, because at the end of the day, the officers are also one among us. So it's going to be a collective movement if all of us can get to being a more transparent society, driven by ethics and values. I think we are going to be world beaters.
Definitely, we are not perfect yet, but
Right.
we are on the right path. And
Right.
what we were 20 years ago, maybe the world has changed enormously post that. Today, we feel proud that we are Indians, and where we are leading, it is going to be a very strong position. And as you mentioned about the segments of UPI and others, these have opened many new channels for maybe somebody sitting in Kathmandu can sell their products to Kanyakumari.
It's happening.
And true, and that's
Right.
opening doors for so many businessmen out there, so many e-commerce websites coming up, everything. So that's pretty amazing. And this all was possible because Indians always had a faith that India is going to become the Sone ki Chidiya once again in the
Right,
coming times.
right.
You also have a very famous quote, faith till eternity. Where do you get
You've done a
that
lot of
strength?
homework. From where did you get these quotes? Right.
I'm good at my homework style.
Right, right.
But where did you get all that faith and confidence and stay grounded on those tough days as well?
Both in personal life and professional life. If someone can master the art of having patience and having faith, with time you can move mountains. It's easier said than done. Things are not always rosy. Professional life or personal life, we all go through our ups and downs. We all go through our emotions. But if you strongly believe that somewhere in the universe, somewhere in the cosmos, what you're doing with a right purpose and a pure intention, then that faith helps you through the troubled waters. And it kind of keeps you rooted that neither are you the first person to do something great, nor are you going to be the last person who's done something great. So, I mean, all this material success really does not affect me. It does not change me. I still, just wear my jeans, t-shirt, and chappals and move around on Church Street. Even if I have important meetings, I'm dressed pretty casually, and unless we have some delegates and a particular dress code. So it's important to stay rooted, and it kind of helps my mind work better because the mind and energy should be spent into innovation, brainstorming ideas, picking up the small things when you're observing. So I think that's how my mind works. So yeah,
You're really grounded, rooted through the
it's important. No? I
it's
mean,
important.
see, at the end of the podcast, you will not remember what my balance sheet was like,
Yes.
but you would remember how
How you
polite or
treated me.
respectful I was.
Yes.
So that's a secret to life.
You have also, in the same manner, you're mentoring me right now. You have mentored thousands of students, and there might be any one incident that you'd like to share, which would stay with you forever. And also, any
Right.
student who might have, you felt that they taught you something which you didn't knew before.
I learn from everyone. Okay, there are a hell lot of things which I don't know about, and when I speak to youngsters, Gen Z, and people who've just completed their MBA, 19, 20, 21, 22, what I learn from them is one, they just cut through stereotypes. They have no filters. What's on their mind, they're just going to speak to you like it. Many times, this actually helps because it helps you not waste time. You directly get to the point. Second, something I learned from youngsters is their energy. If they love something, they're going to be so passionate about it, and it doesn't matter what time of the day it is. And they want to follow their dreams. They want to do things little quickly, uh, which is both good, but it has to be little controlled because sometimes few things take some time to achieve. And about something that a youngster would tell me, one of my mentees, I got a very emotional message last Friday evening. This is a mentee whom I've never met. And she sent me a message that I'm taking this liberty to write to you. Uh, should I write down something? I said, yes, please go ahead. I have no issues. And she said, I have not met Lord Krishna, but trust me, in today's world, I had tears when I read the message. There are lots of people who show off, lots of people who are so proud about and arrogant about their success. But even today, you pick up every call from every mentee, you respond to them, and you speak to us. So I think you're just like living Krishna. And can I call you Krishna from today? I had tears. I told her, no, please, you can call me Pratik because we don't have the sir culture at office. Everybody either calls me Pratik or Bhaiya, or if they're elder to me, they would just call me Pratik. So I said, no, just let me be who I am. If I can be dust in the feet of Lord Krishna, my life is successful. So this was one message which I got last week. Somewhere it made me feel that perhaps I'm doing the right things and inspiring few people. So I should continue doing this. That's the strength.
What keeps you so grounded? What is that factor, that motivation behind you always being so humble?
I mean, tell me, what am I going to do by being arrogant?
True.
I have wealth.
Yeah.
There are people who've got more wealth. So is there an end to it? There's no end to it. At the end of the day, after a few crores, once your life is settled, once you've got a decent home, decent work, you're debt free, what are you going to do with the rest of the money? And it's important to be humble to people, to listen to people, to be respectful, because that's true life. Having those deep conversations when you meet people, and once they know that you're not going to judge people, they are frank, and then that's when the real conversations start off. So I think it's very important to make people comfortable so that they can be who they are, and they can know that this person's not going to judge us, either in personal life or in professional life. And then I just love the deep conversations. I think they are the essence of life. So
I
it's like the connecting dots which completes life and makes it purposeful.
The way you interacted with us before beginning the podcast, the way you wanted to know which city I belong to, which what was my history, what was my
Right,
passion.
right.
Actually, that drives the other person's motivation to that they can feel your vibe, your energy, your kind of humbleness that yes, I'm there for you. speak to me.
Right.
I'm there to help you out. That really helps a lot. And okay, lots of stuff regarding professional
Right.
work, finance.
Right.
Let's skip to something interesting.
Sure.
If your life was based on a soundtrack, what would be playing in the background?
Okay. I have these two songs which I generally listen to on weekends when I'm alone and everybody's gone home in the office and I'm doing my reading of the balance sheets. So the background track, one is from Agnipath, the second one which Hrithik Roshan did. It's called Abhi Mujh Mein Kahin. So I listen to that song about 10, 15 times at a stretch. And somewhere I feel that my life is just like an Agnipath where I have to burn so that I can give light. And I do it without complaining, without any show, just in silence. Uh, my life is all about inspiring people and making them happy. So I would go to any extent. I would never break a promise. I would never turn away from people and never let anybody who trusted me, I would never let them down. So, yeah, this is how things are.
Nice, really inspiring. One bad decision that you made in your business previously, but now you laugh a lot at that.
I used to do everything myself. Even after 3-4 years of the manufacturing unit getting settled, I used to do the marketing myself and also, oversee the accounts. And so one of my mentors just recently, a few weeks ago, we met. He said, Pratik, I think now it's time for you to not do everything yourself. Have people, trust them, let them do their job. You can just, overview and supervise. Stop micromanaging. And to an extent, we've stopped micromanagement. And we let just people do their things so that my energy and time can be focused on something which is bigger and which is forward-looking, which is the future. So, something bad that I've done is maybe done too much of micromanagement. But now I'm learning how not to do it.
Any one misconception that people have about you?
Lots. Many people think they know me, but the reality is very few people know me. I can count them on my fingers. There are just about 2-3 people living on earth who actually know me, including my family. Many in my family also do not know who the real Pratik is. People think I'm an extrovert and I speak to lots of people and, I'm speaking to people about conversations about work, but I don't open up. There's one innermost part of me which does not open up, and it opens up to a very select few people. And when I open up, those are the most precious moments of my life because then I'm just myself. I'm raw. I can speak to them without filters and just be myself. So just about 2-3 people in the world whom I open up to.
Let me use some small words as phrases and just complete the statement, whatever you feel about.
Sure.
What is entrepreneurship is?
Entrepreneurship is inclusive growth. If people working with you, people working around you are not growing, are not feeling safe, are not feeling secure to speak up, are not feeling heard, then I think you've failed as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Inclusive growth is entrepreneurship. When people grow with you. And you need to be happy when people grow with you.
Absolutely.
You can't have founders buying crazy cars and homes in Dubai and Gurgaon and your colleagues just getting peanuts.
Yeah.
So it has to be inclusive growth. People should grow with you. That's my take on entrepreneurship.
Okay. Money is?
Money is a responsibility.
Wow.
Money is a responsibility. It does give you freedom to do things which you wish to, but beyond a certain limit, that money becomes, you need to be very responsible with it because if you're not, it can take you to the dark zone and you can start doing things which are going to just kill your future. So you need to be rooted and make sure the money is used in progressive things and upliftment of the society on a whole and not just on personal materialistic stuff.
India is?
India is the future of the world.
Wow.
All roads lead to India. So Bharat Bhagya Vidhata is how I would put it.
Okay. From your quote itself, faith till eternity is?
Faith till eternity is every night when I go for a walk. I usually have this custom that about 10:30, 11 o'clock I go for a walk at night. Sometimes it's with family members, sometimes with my cousins, my elder brother, and sometimes alone. So I look up at the night sky, I look up at the moon and the stars, and I speak to them. And it's a beautiful language. And the stars respond to you in that language. And everything that I wish to say, which I was not able to say, I look up at the moon and the stars and say it to them, and they reply back. So my faith is in the universe that we are all here for a purpose, and I'm sure they're somewhere taking care of everything I wish to say. That's my
Beautiful.
faith. Right?
Beautiful. Just some closing thoughts from your side. What would you like to say to that startup hustler slash founder slash enthusiast who is going to enter the uncertain world of Indian ecosystem?
Back yourself. Back yourself, be realistic, be open to feedback so that you can learn throughout the journey, and please devote at least 10 years of your life to your venture. You're not going to see success before 10 years. And if you do, then that success should make you more humble so that you learn further and you grow further. So that's my advice to anyone watching.
And at the very end, if we have just got 8 minutes, what would be those inspiring words that you'd like to share to the audience?
We have this quote, I call it, do you have 8 minutes? So everybody in my circle, at office, at home, at work, mentees, everybody's got this code. So when you're not feeling right, we are all humans. We all go through emotions. We go through ups and downs, professional life, personal life, relationships. Lots of times you feel, why is this happening to me? Is this the end of the world? So whenever I get a message of, do you have 8 minutes? It means I have to stop doing everything I'm doing and make sure that I call that person and speak to them so that they feel better. They feel that, yes, somebody has heard you out. I may have about 15,000 contacts on my phone, but trust me, if I have to sit down and speak to somebody and know that that person's not going to judge me and just have conversations from the soul, there are just 1 or 2 people in the world with whom I can have that conversation. So do you have 8 minutes as the code where you speak to that person and you hear them out. Generally, most of our issues can be resolved, if someone hears us out without judging us. So if you have even 1 or 2 such souls in your life who can hear you or hear your silence, then trust me, that's a blessing. Never let that person go. Keep them as close as you can. They are just like the divine walking on earth, and they make your life purposeful and soulful. Right.
Really claps and really amazed. All the insights, everything. So thank you so much. He'd always be available for all our audiences. And thank you, Pratik, for sharing all the insights that you did today. Some ideologies were quite different to what I have heard in my entire life. So quite changing moments. But yeah, thank you so very much for joining us
Thank
today.
you so much, and super humble to be here. And I've learned lots of things from you. At pretty young age, you're so professional, and I see lots of positivity. So I wish you all success in life. And more than success, I wish you happiness in life, because success can be earned.
Yes.
So I wish you have a super happy life and you do fantastic things in life.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So thank you everyone for joining us here. Really happy to look you sticking around up till the very end of the video. I took many valuable insights and I wish you did the very same. So don't forget to like the video. If you found it insightful, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe the channel. We would be bringing in many more founders and investors and speakers like Pratik here again. So looking forward to interacting with you again. Have a great day. Goodbye.